scale adventurer. I have finally come back home from Unicon, which is one of the two conventions here in Latvia to which I go to, but that's a story for another time. There's one thing I do want to talk about, and that is something people usually get wrong. Disclaimer before I say anything, I am in no way professional at the thing I am talking about. I am well aware that the quality of my props is not the best and I can still improve, but the one thing I am proud of is that I usually get my props to scale. I have only made 3 props so far, but none of them have been really too large, except my Sword for Siri, which was about this much too long, and I had to use 2 tries to get it out from this. Like, as you can see with one it only goes this far. I will try to make it short and understandable because it's really basic math. Let's get started, shall we?
So here we can see the handy dandy example that I made. First off, I'm not saying that what I am showing you is the only and correct and the best way of doing this, but this has so far proven to be useful to me to make weapons the right size. So if this is useful to you, I'll be very happy. I hope you can see this quite clearly and understand my handwriting. So we will be talking about my Siri sword. Of course, nobody likes math, but this is pretty basic, so I think we can manage. I will try to explain. First off, I do suggest you make this kind of a table, because you will need the following measurements, and these are in centimeters. All mine are in centimeters, as you can see. First off, you need the character and you need yourself. You need to take a picture of the character where the character is in full body and they also have the weapon available if possible. So for Siri, there's a picture where you can see that she is 25 centimeters tall in my computer and that her weapon measures 18 centimeters. You can also measure that the blade of the sword is 14 centimeters and the handle is 4 centimeters. But about yourself, you only know that you are 165 centimeters tall, which is my height. And then comes the math. The basic idea behind this is that the height of the character's weapon against the height of the character correlates the same as the height of your weapon against the height of you. This is called a proportion. So for mathematics, it would look like this for Siri. The height of her weapon, according to the table, is 18. Her height is 25. The height of our weapon, which will be the X or the unknown in all of these situations, is X, and our height is 1.65 meters. And then you do this. You don't cross out the equal sign. You do the math like so. See? 18 times 165 divided by 25. This is the times sign as I was taught. And after you have done the math, you see that you get 118 centimeters, which is the height of your weapon, or dx. And now we can write in the table that the height of the weapon is 118. And now let's understand how calculating the length of either the blade or the handle works, because once you have one of these, you can then just minus everything. It is pretty much the same thing, except in the place of height of the weapon, you write the height of one of these 2 variables, and in the height of the character, you write the full height of the weapon. As you can also see in the previous example, the smallest number will be on top. And then it again goes against the X, which is what you want to know. And then here I took the length of the blade, and you put it against the full height of your weapon. So this is full height of her weapon, full height of your weapon. From that we get that 14 times 118, again like in a cross, divided by 18. And this is 91.7. There is also always the option to just take a measuring tape and according to the picture measure yourself. That also did work for me, but this way people tend to not get it right. For example, lightning sword handle is from her shoulder where it goes into the sheath up until the very end of her head. And for me that was 30 centimeters. So you can see that here 20, it almost is 30. So it would have been almost perfect measurement, but I know some people who do get the measurements wrong, even if they just measure themselves. So this may be a way for people to test if they have measured correctly. Make sure that the weapons you make are practical, and also think if the character in the game would use it. Like, if you make it too big, would the character in the game be able to use it? If you make it too small, would the character in the game be able to use it for the purpose it is meant to serve?
So that was my sort of short explanation about how I made my props, the length I made them. Hopefully this was useful to somebody. I hope it was. I don't know. I hope that for those of you to whom school will start soon, everything starts well. And I hope that my previous video about Erasmus was useful to somebody who may want to go on one when they are in university. But so far from me, that's it. And actually, the travel videos are coming closer, so stay tuned for those, and I hope you will enjoy them. Bye!